Okay. Sorry about that, folks. For some reason, my microphone decided it didn't want to work in the very beginning. In any case, once again, welcome to the Rundown. I am your host, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. Now, normally I do not do this program by myself, but unfortunately, once again today, Mike is out earning those dollar bills, y'all, so I can't get mad at him, can't be mad at him at all. He is sorely missed, as you know. Normally, we get a chance to put a few back and have a few conversations at the end of the day. But hey, I just have to start my weekend without Mike, or at least we'll have to start our weekend a little later today. Just he and I. In any case, Mike, you're missed. Hope you're doing okay. I hope all is well. You earning those dollar bills. Now, before we get started, we're going to go ahead and give a shout out to. Oh, now I'm realizing that I didn't have my mic on that one either. Well, what do you know? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the mic set up on that one for you as well. Anyway, so going back over once again, going over our sponsors, want to invite you to go to Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. There you can go. They have rifle and pistol length barrels. There we go. See, got that microphone back. But they have rifle and pistol length, so go there to hitmanindustries.net to get your barrel. Also, want to remind you, California Republican Assembly, referred to as the conscience of the Republican Party by former President Ronald Reagan. They're working to help elect conservatives from dog catcher all the way up to President of the United States. So get together with them, visit them at cagop.org. And help become part of California's future today. That's the California Republican Assembly. Also want to let you know about Hog Hosters. That's hoghosters.com, helping Americans wear guns. Go get your tactical or your tactical concealed carry holster today. Just go there, check it out. They will have the holster that will fit you, whatever will fit your handgun, no matter what your setup. Check them out. And make sure to use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. And finally, if you're looking for gear, if you're looking for helmets, if you're looking for headgear, if you're looking for gloves, if you're looking for eyewear, if you're looking for backpacks, whatever outdoor or tactical gear you're looking for, you want to go to uscombatgear.com. That's uscombatgear.com. Veteran owned and operated. Check them out today. Now, all of our sponsors, you can find them in the description. You'll find links to their websites in the description to this program. So you don't even really have to know the website. All you got to do is just click on the link and go there. When you do, make sure that you let them know that it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you. All right, let us go ahead and get into today's first news story. Okay, this first one has to do. There was a resolution that was put up in the House, and as a part of this resolution, the basic point of this resolution was a recognition of the horrors of socialism. Now, for those of you who do not know, socialism has been responsible for millions, if not hundreds of millions of deaths, whether it was in Mao's China, where millions of people starved to death, whether it was Stalin's Soviet Union, once again, millions of people died. I mean, wherever communism or socialism, because communism has never really fully existed in this country. But where it has, it's basically been a form of it's basically been socialism. But every place and any place that socialism has existed anywhere in this world, people die. And that's just a fact. I'm sorry if you're a democratic socialist, doesn't matter. That means you democratically killed people. The fact is that it is an evil. It is a scourge. And in this resolution, they listed a number of the various different times in which socialism has caused deaths. Now, the interesting part about this is that you would think that, that folks would be willing to step up and say, yeah, no, I'm not, I'm going to denounce socialism because we're not a socialist country. Well, guess what? 86, that's 86 House Democrats. That's less than half, but what, 40%? 40% of House Democrats, somewhere around there, decided, yeah, no, we're going to denounce, we refuse to denounce the evils or the horrors of socialism. And as you can see, chief amongst them, amongst the folks who refused to do that was AOC, or as we like to refer to as Alex the bartender, absolutely positively refused. And in many cases, they pretty much said, they thought that it was, what's the word I'm looking for? As the thing says here, they were rolling their eyes. Because now, once again, this is a symbolic resolution, but they do these symbolic resolutions all the time. That's right. They do these resolutions all the time. And once again, here you can see whether it was China, here you have in Cambodia, here you have in North Korea, you have Cuba, you have Venezuela. And then you have the conversations talking about in the Declaration, the author of the Declaration of Independence, you have Thomas Jefferson talking about, once again, the evils of socialism. And yet and still, you had folks who just absolutely positively could not bring themselves to denounce the evils of socialism. Now, here's the interesting part for me. Of the 86 that decided that they were not going to do this, that they were not going to be a part of this, or they were not going to denounce socialism, 19 of them were from, guess where? That's right. They were from California. 19 members of Congress voted against denouncing the evils of socialism. In other words, they weren't even willing to talk about the goods of socialism, right? We refused to denounce the evils of socialism. And then on top of it, you had another 4 who either voted present, meaning they were there, but they weren't going to cast a vote one way or the other. And then you had one person who decided they either were not there to vote or they just did not vote. Which basically says, 22, 23, over 20% of basically of the people who decide, or over a quarter of the people who decided that they were not going to support denouncing the evils of socialism decided, yeah, well, you know what? We're not going to vote. Oh, as you can see here, I have a friend of mine who's decided to join me on the show today. This is Jane. So she is going to be taking the place of Mike today. And so she decided to wander into the studio and say hello. And she is looking at herself and all that fun stuff. Jane, you're over there. See, that's you right there. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Okay. So we're going to get back to talking policy. And Jane, my lovely granddaughter, is now going to go and close the door. See you later, Jane. Oh, she is such a cutie, isn't she? I know. The ratings for the show probably just went way up. But hey, y'all are stuck with me. I realize I'm not as cute, but I'm a little bit more informative. Not much, but a little. And she actually, when it comes to maturity, she's probably got Mike beat by a few years. Just saying. All right, but getting back to the topic at hand, yeah, in California, sad to say, we have people who basically believe in socialism. They're the idea of the government dictating to you how you should live your life, dictating to you how you should raise your children, and basically indoctrinating you, not educating young people, but indoctrinating people to subscribe to whatever it is that they would have you subscribe to. That's kind of their thing. Wealth redistribution, that's kind of California Democrats' thing. All of these are things that they firmly believe in. And sadly enough, even when they cause evil, right? Even when they cause evil, they refuse to denounce them because, well, they're either stupid or they are evil. And I do believe that there are some people who are just ignorant. And the reason why I call them stupid is because they're willfully ignorant. Because if they're in elective office, they have been given the opportunity to learn, to hear the truth. And they've chosen to either ignore the truth or to not hear it. So they're either evil or they're stupid. And I'll just leave it at that. Okay, moving right along to the next topic, Biden. Okay, so Biden notes are in the this is the interesting thing. So right now, the Justice Department has also collected, along with information, along with the documents that Joe Biden had there at his private residence. They've also collected handwritten notes as a part of the probe. Now, I know you're wondering, what does it have to do with these handwritten notes? Why are they confiscating his handwritten notes? Well, the notes that they have confiscated are actually notes in his handwriting, and from what I understand. Now, once again, I could be wrong, but from what I've heard, these are notes that are in his own handwriting, referring to the classified documents. So when he says, well, I didn't know that there were classified documents in my home, I had no idea where those documents came from. If he has handwritten notes on those documents, on the information that's in those documents, then he's lying. I mean, he's flat out lying. Or let me clarify, maybe he just forgot. Maybe he's having a senior moment. But I'm going to guess he's lying because, well, as we all know, Joe Biden is a notorious liar. From all of the picadillos that he has been fact-checked on, the number of times he's gotten the Pinocchios, we know that Joe Biden tells tall tales. We know this. This is not up for debate. It's a fact. It's a fact. We know that he lies. But this could actually put him in some serious hot water because, once again, these are classified documents. Until he became president, he has never had the ability to declassify documents. And these are documents that date back to when he was a senator, when he was vice president. And at neither time did he have the ability to declassify documents. And so the question is, why were these declassified documents in not where declassified documents are supposed to be? Why were they not secured? Why were they not handed over? One can only wonder what is going on. And well, anyway, it's going to be real interesting to see exactly how he gets out of this. It's going to be easy for him to a certain degree because the media will cover it up. Like even in this story by the Associated Press, they really don't get into the fact that these are notes. Once again, these are handwritten notes about these documents. And they don't make the link that then may demonstrate that he is in fact lying about the fact that he didn't know. But, what do I know, right? Okay, next story. Banning seniors from owning guns. Now, this is actually from a piece by Bearing Arms by Cam Edwards, and in there it's funny because after they came out and they started talking about banning firearm ownership from those under the age of 21. It was interesting because we noticed that at least in two cases, the mass shootings that took place not too long ago in California, about a couple of weeks ago, in both cases they were senior citizens. One was in his late 60s, the other was in his early 70s. But Cam Edwards joked, and quite frankly, I did at the same time. We're like, well, now are they going to start banning firearm ownership for senior citizens? Well, Newsweek decided to do a poll. And they decided, well, hey, let's find out if senior citizens should be prohibited from owning firearms. Now, I don't understand. I don't know why we would ban senior citizens from owning firearms. I mean, unless they are mentally incapable of caring for themselves or being safe with a firearm. It makes absolutely no sense why we would do that, but that's what they decided they're going to do a poll on. And now, interesting thing about it is, and this is once again, okay, let's go here. It says here, a majority of Americans think there should. This is, by the way, this is from Newsweek. A majority of Americans think there should be a maximum age requirement for the purchase of firearms, though they don't agree on the age, according to an exclusive poll run by Redfield and Wilton Strategies on behalf of Newsweek. The poll conducted between January 28 and 29 among a sample of 1,500 eligible voters found 52% of respondents supported the imposition of a maximum age requirement for the purchase of firearms. Among these, 20% of the respondents thought the max age limit should be set at 60, while 16% said that it should be set at 70. Some 11% of respondents said a maximum age limit should be set at 80, and 6% said that it should be set at 90. Now, here's the question once again that I'll ask. Based on what? So in other words, they asked when they could purchase it. So does that mean that they don't want them to be able to own firearms? Meaning, okay, well, hey, if I can't buy one when I turn 60, by the way, which ain't too far off for me. Well, a few years. I got a few years. But so then at 59 and a half, do I got to go buy all the guns I'm ever going to want? And then I get to own them in perpetuity? And oh, by the way, once they take away my right to purchase them, are they then going to take away my right to own them? Am I now, for the firearms that I own already, am I going to lose my right to be able to own them? Folks, trust me. If there is a way in which Democrats, because Democrats always govern based on the exception rather than the rule, if there was a way they could get away with keeping anybody from owning firearms, like senior citizens, yes, they would ban senior citizens from being able to own or possess firearms. Yes, they would. If they could ban everybody from being able to own or possess firearms, yeah, they most definitely would. But once again, that's who Democrats are. That's what they believe, and they're not ashamed of it, I don't think. Although they never own it when you actually call them out on it. But anyway, that's what they believe. And moving right along, DirecTV. Many of you may not know this if you do not have DirecTV. DirecTV has actually removed Newsmax from their lineup. Their argument is that, well, it's not very profitable. We're losing money on this deal. They're saying that basically what they're saying is Newsmax wants too much money, and they're not willing to pay the money that Newsmax wants for them to be able to carry them. So they basically cut them from the lineup. And Senate Republicans wrote a letter to DirecTV, basically asking them, why did you do this? Why did you remove this one venue that basically is a way for us to have, through media, access to our constituents? And once again, they came back and they said, well, it's just not profitable. They want too much money. But what's funny about this is, I mean, I haven't seen the ratings. I probably should have looked at the ratings before I came on today. But the thing is that Newsmax, OAN are examples of two networks where people can talk to conservatives, where they will actually report what is going on in conservative circles. They will actually share what conservatives are talking about. The problem is with whether it's MSNBC, whether it's CNN, most of these other media outlets, they do not report fairly on conservatives. They just don't. 9 times out of 10, if it's a story, they're going to give it their entire slant, and they'll give the conservative, if that, a paragraph with a quote. And even the headlines will tend to be skewed heavily against conservatives. So the closest thing you get to either supportive media or at the very least non-biased media is the OANs, is the Newsmaxes. And Newsmax, Newsmax, OAN has already been removed from oh God, I forget which one they were removed, but they were removed from another television provider. I believe it was. Anyway, I'm not sure which one. I don't remember exactly which one it was. I think it was Verizon. That's right, Verizon, who by the way also provides cable television. They cut them. And once again, these are folks that, if you're conservative and you want to hear from conservative organizations and you want to hear from conservative politicians, unfettered and unfiltered, the only way in which you can get that is from these stations. And they're basically trying to silence them. And I happen to believe they are trying to silence them. That's just, it's funny because people are losing money hand over fist. No one is watching CNN. No one is watching MSNBC. Yet and still, they put out a boatload of money. They pay MSNBC in order for them to stay on, and literally nobody is watching. Just saying. All right. On that note, time for us to move along, and we are now to our parting shot. That's right. Our parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. That's Hog Holsters, helping Americans wear guns at hogholsters.com. Go there, get your concealed carry holster, and get a discount. Use the rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your discount today. All right, let's see here. Our first parting shot. Well, this one is in recognition of some of the calls of white supremacy. A lot of people looked at what happened to the young man, Tyree Nichols, there in Memphis, Tennessee, and they are saying that this is an example of white supremacy. But this tweeter, DC Drano, made a very, very interesting point. It says Memphis has a Democrat mayor, Democrat city council, Democrat police chief, and a Democrat city attorney. But sure, blame white supremacy instead of what's truly destroying black communities. Democrats. Just saying. I definitely believe that. And once again, if you guys really stop and you think about it, name one metropolitan area that is dealing with high crime, that is dealing with poor quality education, that is dealing with low job opportunities, that is dealing with high rates of poverty, and every single one of them are run and controlled by Democrats. Every single one. The only metropolitan areas that aren't suffering from that, they're run by Republicans. Just saying. I don't know. At some point, y'all got to own your stuff. Democratic Party. Just saying. All right, this next one is, Ilhan Omar was removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee yesterday. And one of the statements that she made and one of the rationales that Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, made is it had to do with a bunch of statements she made. Like, for example, when she said on 9/11 somebody did something. That was her response to 9/11. Thousands of people losing their lives, a war being declared on the United States by terrorists. Well, yesterday something else happened. Somebody did something and removed me from a committee. Ain't that true? Ain't that true? Yes, that's exactly what happened. Somebody did something and removed her from a committee. By the way, that somebody was the Republican caucus there in the House of Representatives. Just saying. Not saying. Just saying. All right, and our final one, and I will give you a PG-13 warning for naughty language. This was a saying that my father used to say to me all the time, and it is one that, it is a saying that has passed down passed down from me to the next generation. It's not the first statement, but it's the second one. You'll know which one I'm talking about as soon as you hear it.
I don't want all your guns. I want that AR-15. I want it.
Well, wish in one hand, shit in the other, and see which one fills up first.
That's right. Poop in one hand, wish in one hand, poop in the other, and see which one fills up first. Although he used to say want in one hand. You say, I want this. And you say, well, want in one hand, poop in the other, and see which one fills up first. Anyway. Oh, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that one. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, it's the end of the show. Well, what do you know? Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors once again. First of all, we'll start with Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. Then we've got the California Republican Assembly. You can find them at cragop.org. That's cragop.org. Become a part of California's future today. We have Hog Holsters at hogholsters.com. Remember to use that discount code, The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. And finally, if you get your cool tactical gear at uscombatgear.com. All right, folks. Well, hey, that's a day. That's a week, and that's a wrap. So, Mikey, I hope you're doing better. Hope all is well. Hope you're making all that money out there, doing well, being prosperous for the peeps. Me and Mike will be back on Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. You folks enjoy your weekend.